So here what I wanted to show you all is the connection between D1 and SBC, and also I'm still trying the Kavipu component also over here, because this basically what you see over here to the left now is the birth chart. This outside thing is the D1 chart, inside is the JAMA call chart at that same minute. Okay, so it is basically the same JAMA call of the birth chart with all the details. And here what you see over here, this is basically the SBC, and the planets which you see here, this is the inner circle over here. These planets which you see over here are all the natal planets. So natal Mercury, natal Moon, natal Sun, natal Saturn, so on and so forth. The only two additional things over here are this Udayam over here and this Kavipu over here. So these two I am trying to sort of still working on. I didn't have time to work on that before.
Maharishi, just a question.
Yeah.
In SBC chart, you have mentioned the planets in the degree of the nakshatra. Is that right?
In the Pada.
Okay, in that particular pada. Okay, got it. Okay.
Specific Pada. If you see it here, then this is the second Pada of Purva Bhadrapada, like that.
Okay.
Okay. So now I tried to identify two items over here. So one was a marriage on 14th of June 93 and the child birth on 10th of March or 10th of February 1998. Okay. Now if you see over here, if you see the chart, the 7th house of marriage has got the 5th Lord Saturn as well. So 7th house in a way as well as Saturn are in some way connected to the marriage also as well as the childbirth also. Okay. Now I have not actually done the analysis of the Jamakol, but Jamakol may the Saturn is seated in the 9th house of Bhagya, Rashi of Jupiter, which is child, and it is also the third from the 7th, natural 7th, which is also considered to be related to marriage, and it is also 5th from the natural 5th. Are you understanding what I am saying? You all can just put a thumbs up if you want, if you all have not understood. If you all don't understand, just speak up, otherwise you can be on mute. So basically what I am trying to tell you is, since we are looking at Saturn, we are considering Saturn over here. Saturn in the Jamakol chart is seated in the 9th house, 9th Rashi, Jupiter. So you can consider Jupiter as the Putra Karak also. You can consider 9th as the third from the 7th, which is again related to marriage, and it is also the 5th from the 5th. So in a way Saturn is giving a lot of indications over here. So it is in anyway the Karma Karak also, but it is seated here. Now if you go all the way here to SBC, okay, what I did was, I have done it in 2-3 ways. I will go by the easy way first. I tried to identify the year when I got married. That was 27. I have written your marriage. And the year when I got my son. So this was the 31st year. Jumbo is his pet name. So basically this was when he was born. So here the transiting Saturn, now if you see here, transiting Saturn was exactly in this position on 10th of February 98. That is when he was born. And here marriage ke time, transiting Saturn on 14th of June 93 was exactly on this slot where 27 is highlighted. Okay. Now this, if you see, where is that one? Okay. So basically if you see this, the transiting Saturn, which not only is the Karma Karak but is also the Karak of 7th house in a way and 5th Lord. So child also and marriage also, both are getting connected here. Now if you even consider one, let us say marriage, you consider this pink line which you can see over here. So that is connected to the 5th house, that is connected to the 2nd house, and that is connected to the 11th house. So 2, 11, 5. So it was a love marriage. So basically 5 of relationships, 2 of marriage, addition to family, and again 11th is again Ichha Purti. So that is one this thing. Second thing, even if you see the transiting Jupiter which was there over here, which you see on the right side, which is seated in the ascendant itself, that is connecting directly to the 7th house, okay, of marriage, where Saturn is seated, which is Karma Karak, again giving an aspect to the ascendant. Okay, this was one thing. Second, now if you see the childbirth over here, it is connected to the 4th house of Sukhastan, it is connected to the 1st house of the native himself, and it is connected to the 9th house. Now if you see here, the childbirth is connected to the fourth house, ninth Rashi. So ninth Rashi is again Jupiter, which is child. Fourth is Sukhastan. So Sukhastan related to child, that is showing up over here. Second, if I take it over here, this is first house, sixth Rashi. So sixth Rashi is again ruled by Mercury, which is considered as young prince. So that is again the thing. And from here, if you go here, this is the ninth house, second Rashi. So that is again ninth house again is what is it called? Jupiter related, Bhagya also, and 2 is addition to family. So both these directions, it is showing how the connection is coming up between the D1 and the SBC and the timing. So the timing of event over here. So I am trying to now crack down on whether we need to catch the Saturn as the karma karak or the karak of that planet. So for example, here if you see, if you consider the marriage thing, Jupiter, which is the 7th lord, okay, was seated here and aspecting the giving a weight to the 7th house. So that is one positive sign over here. Plus it was aspecting giving a weight to the 4th house of Sukhastan, and it was connecting to the 10th house. So both me and my wife, we are both professionals, architects. So again, in a way it is connected to this. And Gemini being the third third again is the 9th from the 7th. So again it is the Bhagya of marriage. So all these basically are trying to connect with the age. This is the age which you take every nakshatra from the moon. Janma nakshatra is first year. That way this is another technique of doing that. So if you go about this way, you are getting the entire sequence of the D1 chart in tandem with the SBC and the timing of events over here, which is seen over here. Any questions so far? If anyone has a question, you all can speak up now.
I mean, can I ask what Dasha was running in the time of marriage?
I'll have to check one, but I'll open my chart. Just a minute. Saturn Dasha. In Saturn Dasha, so Saturn is basically again the 5th lord seated in the 7th house. And in Saturn, you're talking about the marriage, right? So Saturn.
Yeah, because you said that which to consider, because 7th house has Saturn Venus, and you asked which to consider, and therefore
Saturn was the Mahadasha, Venus was the Antardasha.
Perfect.
So again here also it is again correlating over here. And here also if you see, Venus is also again connected to that Saturn also over here in a way. If you see this Jupiter, if you see this transit Jupiter, this is the 7th lord. On that day, 14th June 93, was here, and it is giving a direct way to the 7th house where Venus is also seated, Saturn is also seated. So getting the point?
Where can I know the transit Saturn in this?
Transit Saturn, here. This pink,
okay.
The pink ones are the marriage ones, greens are the childbirth ones. So this is the transit Saturn.
TR is okay.
So transit Saturn is giving a way to second house, 7th Rashi. So again that is addition to family and marriage. While the 7th lord is giving it to the 7th house, 12th Rashi. So 12th Rashi is again Jupiter, and this is it. So from both angles it is coming in that way. Got it? So I can stop sharing, then we can discuss something. Yeah. Would you like to discuss? If you all can come on the camera, discuss.
I just have one question, and what you told. Saturn is also aspecting one, right? In this.
Yeah, it is aspecting the ascendant. It's not aspecting that way. Aspecting will be a wrong. It's got a weight to the.
Okay.
I'll also switch off my camera. Let's all talk to a dead wall. Okay. Okay. Should we wrap up then?
Sort of switching on, by the way. But,
Nobody, because when I take my architecture lectures, if they don't switch on the camera, I walk out from there. Anyways,
I can switch on, I have no problem.
now I can
Hi.
see. Yes, good, good. Hi, finally I get to see you. Okay, if there are no more queries, then we can wrap up then. Basically, I wanted to show the connection between, hello, SSN, how are you? We have got all short forms for everyone, SSN and long names. So, anyways, do you all have any queries? Basically, what I'm trying to decode over here, which may take a couple of days more, is how the D1 in tandem with the JAMA call of that time, in tandem with the SBC, how they're connected. And if you see the age also, I have added an age component also into this. So the age component is also giving something. So basically the Saturn, which is called as the karma karak, so to say. So what karma it is giving. So how it is getting affected to those specific houses, and how the karak of that specific thing is also getting connected to the specific houses. So houses.
I mean, yes, please continue.
Ask.
No, there was just one point called double transit. That means that if at all event could happen, then in the transit concepts, if there is a double transit. That means that if Saturn and also Jupiter is aspecting certain bhava, then whenever there is a dasha that is running, then that is for sure we can say that in these 3 months we can get the thing happen.
Exactly.
And then that is what I saw in your chart.
Yeah, but in my case, what is happening is the Karak planets and the houses are almost connected to each other. Like the fifth house of child is seated in the 7th house, and 7th Lord is also 7th Karak of marriage is also seated over there. So in that way, it's connected. But what you're saying is correct. The double transit of Jupiter and Saturn. That's why I have connected both and got to see that. Now that age thing is also a very important thing. So from the Janma Nakshatra, you take one ahead, you will get each year. So it is coming pretty accurate. Even I think in the morning, I think that other girls we did that case, Manisha, there also those things were coming on quite well. We'll need to see that case also at some point.
Manish, just a small request, right? So with respect to that SBC layout, what you have put, right? So that layout is going to be constant. Is that my understanding right? Because I don't know SBC, and I'm just trying to understand with the image what you showed, right? So you have got the nakshatras and you have got the rashis, right? So those are constant, and based on the birth chart, you are going to give numbering to the rashis, right?
No. Houses to the rashis.
Houses, yeah. Houses to the rashis, yes. Based, for example, if you are a Kanya Lagna, you put Kanya as the number 1 in that SBC chart, whatever you have shown, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you are trying to place the grahas in the exact degree in that particular rashi,
in the
right?
pada,
Okay.
I put it in the pada, not in the degree, but in the pada I put. So 3 degree.
In the pada, yeah. Okay,
So
okay.
it doesn't remain constant for everything. The Rashi and the Nakshatra, they will remain the same. They will not change for anybody.
Yes, I understand.
But the other
So I'm trying to understand if the template what you gave is constant for all the charts. That is constant for all the charts, right?
No, I'll share the template again, because now what I've done is I've taken that Astro app, Astro Horaka thing, no, SBC. Now what has happened is in that there are lots of things which are, one, either overcrowding, so it is giving confusion. Second thing is what is happening is when I'm squeezing the thing into that space, no, the font is getting pixelated. You know, especially the, what is it called, the nakshatras, no, are written in a bold font, and when it comes out, it becomes a karkar. So it is very difficult. And what has happened is I have I have studied with the north as up. Here they have got east as up. So you know the entire chart is rotated 90 degrees. So every time I want to see Mrigashira, I have to look here, then I realize, oh, the Mrigashira is there. So what I did now was the Rashis and the Nakshatras, I have made it in bold, color coded with letters. So if you see the chart, if you want to see Mrigashira, you just see red. There will be 3 reds obviously only, no? Because 3 Mars ka Nakshatra. So anyway you can, I'll share it again if you want, I'll show you that. So that way you can, that is an easy way of going about it. I'll just share it on
Yeah, G, can you share that Excel, right? I think, and then you show this, I think, side by side. I think that it will be easy to understand.
Ah, that's what I'm doing. This way, no?
Yeah.
This way you're saying, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm able to see it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So this SSN, what I was trying to tell you is, see here, now this outside circle which you see, Taurus, Gemini, Aries
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that I have put in because that was not visible, and this inner thing, if you see Dhanishta, Satabhisha, Purva, Bhadrapada and all that, this I have put in. And all my works now are color coded, they're very simple. Jupiter will be orange, Pusha will be like brownish color,
Yeah.
Aslesha will be green, like that, they're basic natal colors only. So anytime you see anything, you immediately realize. And here what I'm doing is some additional thing which I'll tell you here on video because then it might be difficult to understand. Whichever house I want to identify now, I'm putting it like this, like a highlighted thing over here. If you can see can you see the mouse move? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that ways, and any data that is to be written, I am writing over there itself. So there is no need for any brainstorming afterwards. You just see it and you connect it. And here these are the houses. Of course, the Rashi numbers you will have to know. So if this is
Yeah.
4 Sagittarius, it becomes 4th house, 9th Rashi, Jupiter. The color will tell you Jupiter. That is all. So that is there. Now this, the 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 corner ones also I want to actually hide out because they are also sort of distracting. But maybe at
So
some
what are those charts in the four corners? You have put some North Indian chart.
No, no,
What
this one is a Rashi chart, this is a Navamsh chart, this is like a Nadi chart. And like that. So those
Okay,
are
okay.
causing too much of this thing confusion. I would
Okay.
rather have that for some other text like that. So here, and I have written all the inferences here also. So that once you read it, you will understand very easy. Now basically I want to get the connection between the Jamakol chart and the SBC.
Hmm.
Because here also if you see, now that you know the chart well, see if you see Venus is the Hora.
Hmm.
Okay, so Venus is my 7th and 9th lord. So Bhagya and addition to family. Both cases which we did was addition to family. So basically it is the Venus which is the Hora, which is showing the thing, is giving the 9th house, 2nd Rashi, 2nd house, 7th Rashi. So basically 9th house is Bhagya, also natural this thing of Jupiter, which is Putrakara, and is also the 2nd Rashi, which is addition to family. So 2nd house, 9th Rashi, Jupiter is again showing something related to child also. And here if you see here, this is the 2nd house, 7th Rashi, Venus. So 2nd house, addition to family, 7th, marriage, Venus, again marriage. So that fellow is connecting here and giving a correct inference over here in that way. And because see, all the other planets will be the same thing because that cannot change. Now the Udayam has gone here. So what is Udayam trying to tell you have to see? So Jupiter, which is the 7th house, where all the action is getting done just now because Saturn is there, Venus is there, 5th lord is there. Now that is coming to Udayam, it is showing. Okay, so in that sense, and it is in Ketu, which is a natural 3rd lord from here, the 3rd lord over here. So in that sense, this Jupiter is also telling something. Now we have to slightly decode that at some point of time. So let us see how it works.
Will it see the purpose of your life? Or
Is it showing?
I had this question when we create a Jamakal chart when we born. That means that will it show the question that we born? That means that why we born or something like this. Purpose of life.
See, basically this Udayam, okay, let me put it this way. This Udayam is seated here in the 8th house. This is the Udayam. This is my ascendant over here. If you want to superimpose the D1 and the Jamakol, this is my ascendant over here, right? And this is the Udayam over here. So Udayam and ascendant are in some way connected. This is the starting point of that, this is the starting point of this. So what is happening is this is the 8th house, natural 8th house, which I have written over here. Okay, which is basically the house of occult, so to say. I am just putting a mute. This is also the natural house of occult, right? Here also my natural Rahu is also seated here. Okay, so the transiting Rahu is also here just now. So this is the time when Rahu started moving from here to here, where all these brainstorming things started coming into my head without anybody telling. So it is not my invention, like I keep saying, it's some discovery, and the discovery ka initiator is this Rahu. So now what your question is, the 8th house where the Udayam is seated with Jupiter connected in the Rashi of Ketu. So Ketu is, so how you use it will change the life actually. Like if you want to see from a negative way, 8th house of obstacles, you can say Ketu of, you know, detachment and all that sort of thing. Rahu again disruptor over there. Jupiter again, you know, Jupiter, okay, Shubha Karak thik hai, but it's the Badhak Lord also over here. So in that sense you see it is negative, but the way I've modeled my life, basically 8th house of occult, you can say. 8th house of major transformation. Whatever field I've gone into, I've made a major transformation there. I've never stagnated, whether it was architecture, whether it was music, whether it was art, or whether it is astrology now. Wherever I've gone, I've never gone by the straight path. I've always made my own path. So that 8th house changes over there. Ketu is isolation. I prefer to be in isolation and do my work rather than be in a crowd and sort of do a big ho-ha out of it, how I'm great and this and all that. So that is never there. And on top of that, Jupiter is Guru. For 32 years I've been a professor now in architecture. So basically that, if you are asking, maybe that is how the thing is here. Because I have one very simple way of remedy. There is nothing like remedy. Remedy is only reallocation of destiny. This came to me as a brainwave sometime back. Remedy is reallocation of destiny. You cannot change your destiny. So if you push a stone ahead, it is only going to gather more dust and become a big pahad, either in this life or the coming life. So the actual remedy is to understand what the planet is trying to tell you and move according to that. And then the effect, the negative effect becomes less. Like 8th house, Rahu, natal Rahu, transit Rahu, in the nakshatra of Ketu, all that, if you want to take it in the negative way, if you become very materialistic, if occult sciences may I try to earn lot of money or whatever, which is anyways wrong, all these things, then that will act in a negative manner. But Rahu in the 8th house of occult, first Rashi of brain, with Mars effort, in Ketu in isolation, with Jupiter ancient knowledge, that is giving a total different ball game. Kya Vinay, you want to say?
Yeah, understood. Just that maybe Jupiter here shows that it will be fine.
Pardon?
The Udayam Jupiter is saying that maybe whatever the 8th house will be taken care by Jupiter.
That is in a way Shubha Karak also, and it is my Sukhasthan ka Lord also in a way.
And by the way, the Kavipu is catching Venus, or?
Yeah, it is catching Venus, but
And that's used as an artist or something like this, no?
sorry.
The Kavipu is a secret, right, for the life. So
Kavipu
maybe
is a
the Venus is your secret. That means that where you have art and so on.
Yeah, see, Kavipu always doesn't have to be a damager. It can always,
Exactly.
it can
Secret,
tell you
right?
something, yeah, and it is in the 6th house where Sun, Moon, Mercury, all three are there. And basically, in a way, maybe it is that, you know, see, Venus is the 2nd and the 9th lord. So it is in a way that aura which is connected to 2nd, which is wealth also, 9th which is Bhagya also. Okay, so maybe there is something over there. Again, it is in the nakshatra of Jupiter, which is the 4th and the 7th lord. So actually the thing is, my entire life till I retired recently, I have always worked along with my wife. So if you look at it from that way, 6th house of recovery of money, you know that comes. It is the 12th to the 7th. So 6th house is considered as recovery of money, your income in a way. Okay. There this Kavipu is seated in Jupiter. Jupiter is the Sukhasthan Lord and the 7th Lord. Now 7th Lord I can consider as a Badhak Sthan also, or 7th I can use it as a spouse also or business also. So that is getting connected to Venus. Venus not only is the wife, but Venus is the 2nd Lord of wealth. Venus also money. 9th Lord also Bhagya. So all that getting connected over here. So Kavipu in a way maybe is trying to hint that okay, if you do it this way, this will be negative. If you do it this way, this will be positive.
I mean, what I was saying is that it is hinting that you will be more inclined towards art, is what I was.
Yeah, all my life I've been, all these artworks that you see behind now, this is my studio. After retirement I've been doing art and astrology only, nothing else.
Exactly, that's what I was
And
thinking.
now
Yeah.
thanks to SBC I am not doing anything else, only SBC. But art is also gone for a toss now.
But still Photoshop is art, yeah.
That is that. Even architecture, if you go to that 8th house, what you're saying of major transformation, when we got into architecture, that was the time these computers just started coming in. And so we have learned everything in the manual, this thing. So we stopped that and we did a major transformation into computer. We were the first ones to get into AutoCAD and 3D Max and Photoshop and just like that, So that was a major transformation. Astrology I got into, I started off with KP and the typical way of doing this, and then suddenly something happened and I totally changed and I made some other method only. So because I've done Lal Kitab, I've done KP, I've done Bhrigu Nandinadi, You ask and I've done that. Astro Vastu, Western astrology, everything. And then now I've made something different only. So that is that 8th house ka effect with Rahu over there. Anyway. Okay. Chalo then. See you. Huh? If there's any other doubt, ask whether we can wrap up for the day. Yeah? Okay?
That's
Chalo.
clear from my side. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you. Bye bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye. See you.